What's up, everyone? Or maybe just Chiefs fans. I don't know. We're going to talk this out. Chiefs offensive line fixes for 2025, and maybe some other things about the Chiefs and where they go from here. This was a tweet I put out yesterday. Now, I'm trying to fix the format stuff here. I'm not great at StreamYard. I don't know why it's not working, whatever. But this is the tweet I put out yesterday. We'll get back to this tweet about Chiefs offensive line hating next season. It evoked a lot of reaction. So we're going to talk it through from the beginning to the end, and also the draft and my ideas there, and where there are other holes on the Chiefs roster, believe it or not, besides offensive line. Now, talking about this is very privileged, right? Chiefs have won three Super Bowls recently, so their issues are not as bad as we make them out to be, right? There's always a saying in film watching, right? It's never as good or never as bad. And that's the case in almost all these situations. I'm trying to take the emotion out of talking about this offensive line and the future based off of a bad Super Bowl, okay? So let's start with the things that we know, think we know, okay? And then we'll build it out from there. One is that right guard Trey Smith is gone, okay? He's going to leave in free agency. I wish him the best of luck. I know Trey. He's a fantastic guy. He got kind of, unfortunate situation that happened during the draft where he was knocked down because of potential blood clotting issues. Chiefs got a steal in the 6th round. He was a first-round talent. He's a 5-star kid out of Tennessee, plays a true freshman, great football player, great guy. He's going to get paid the most money for a guard in NFL history. That's the way it works. He's the next man up, and the Chiefs are not paying him that. And you might say, wait, the Chiefs can't do that after the Super Bowl? Guys, it's all big picture thing, right? Big picture, right? Because the other thing we know, if the Chiefs don't blow it up, which I don't think they're going to, is that Joe Thuney's back at left guard, paid. Creed Humphrey back at center, already paid. And Juwan Taylor is back, maybe right guard, it's going to be right tackle or left tackle, but also getting paid. With the salary cap and the structures of contracts that they're going to redo some deals to get under the cap, I get that. It's all going to happen. But paying a 4th offensive lineman is bad business. It just is. And they cannot afford to pay Trey Smith. And they're going to let him walk. So those are two things we know, right? Trey Smith is going to walk. $22, $23, $24 million a year for him. The franchise tag is about 25. There's reports today he's not going to be franchised. It makes no sense. No one's trading any assets for Trey Smith. Well, the Chiefs did it with Snead last season. Yes, different player, different position, different price tag. The corner price tag is actually less than a guard because the offensive line is treated as a unit. They don't piece it out by position. So even if Creed Humphrey were to be tagged, it would be $25 million a year, even though obviously centers are paid far less than guards or tackles. So they're not getting stuck with that bill. That's $25 million against the cap, one-time hit. It's not spread out over the years. And so Trey's gone. Thuney's back, Creed's back, and Taylor's back, okay? So that's the premise we have to work with. And the trouble that I have with talking about roster is I don't look ahead to free agency and say the Chiefs are getting so-and-so player. Of course, it would be great if, let's say, Cam Robinson was able to come to Kansas City, or Jackson, or someone else. But the truth is, guys, the Chiefs have other needs on the roster as well. They might lose a safety, a linebacker. They need another wide receiver possibly, maybe a tight end, maybe a running back. And they only have 6 draft picks. So they don't have a lot of room to work here to add the pieces they need to continue to be the upper echelon of the NFL. So you might think, yes, let's get Cam Robinson. Let's get this guy. Let's get that guy. I can't predict that. I can't tell you right now. And this is why my tweet, I'll put it back up here. I went with the guys we know are on the roster, right? We know these guys are on the roster right now. Those 6 guys are on the roster because, yeah, would it be great if Trent Williams was available and the Chiefs called over and said, hey, man, is Laremy Tunsil, who seems to always be sort of rumored to be moving somewhere? Yeah, it would be great. The Chiefs have done a great job, actually, of getting those free agents, right? My brother, Joe Thuney, Orlando Brown, like they've hit home runs when they've gone out and tried to get these veterans. But the fact is, you can't predict that. So I'm going with my assumption. I'm going with the players we know that's on the roster. And one thing that we're making a big mistake, Chiefs fans, is doing is not allowing the development for some of these players. And when you draft an offensive tackle at the end of the 2nd round, Kingsley Suamataia, Offensive tackle, the end of the third round or middle third round, Wanya Morris. These guys have to play. That's National Football League. When you draft guys in the first 3 rounds, they have got to play. That's how you build championship teams, how you build championship rosters, and those players have to be coached up. Andy Heck's got to get it done. Andy Reid's got to get it done. You got to be coached up. And Kingsley last season played 2 games at left tackle. Very clearly not ready for the National Football League. And the Chiefs said, you know what? We're going to pull you back. We'll put Morris in. We'll find other answers. And in any other year, when you're not chasing a three-peat, Kingsley probably plays the entire season. You suck it up, you go through the growing pains, and you make it happen. But in the specific season they had last year where they're trying to win a championship, they had to make a decision to say, look, man, we can't play this guy. Mahomes is going to get killed. We're trying to win a championship. But he's played 2 games, really 2.5. He played the final game of the season. But like 2 games in his career. You're not throwing that draft pick away for a veteran, in my opinion, right now. Kingsley has to play somewhere along the offensive line. They moved him inside to guard. Feels very likely that will be his position in the National Football League. They got to get something out of Kingsley. So he has to play. So now we have 4 guys, right? We got 4, right? That sort of have to play, right? Jawan Taylor has to play on the team. Creed, Tooney, and Kingsley. And I know the push was going to be, well, Kingsley just sucking cost. Already done. Not sucking cost. You don't know what you have in Kingsley. He's not played football. He's 22. He's barely played ball. You have no idea what you have in him. You can't just throw away a second-round pick chasing a 1-year veteran, in my opinion. And maybe Kingsley's the answer at left tackle. Maybe this entire offseason, I'm wrong about it. The Chiefs wanted him guard. He goes through a full offseason, and boom, he's your left tackle. But to throw him away after just 2 starts in a championship, quest, to me, is really bad roster management. It's bad roster management. So the Chiefs want to play him at guard. That's right guard. There's your right guard right there. Now the question becomes, what happens to the other tackle? In my tweet, I put Wanya Morris at right tackle, and I said that you asked Jawan Taylor, who's been a right tackle most of his career, can you play left tackle? Now, when the Chiefs signed him, the thought was he was going to play left tackle. I don't think he ever actually practiced at left tackle, and they signed Donovan Smith, and I think Orlando Brown was gone, so it was Donovan Smith, and that's what they did. We don't know if Jawan Taylor can play left tackle or not. And the goal is getting your 5 best offensive linemen on the field. That's new way of thinking, right? It used to sort of be you find a right guard, he's your right guard, you find your right tackle, you find your left guard. If that left guard can't play left guard, like that's it for him. He's no going. But now we found out data, watching film, understanding, and really the way defenses attack offenses now is that it's not about finding like 5 all pros per se, right? It's about finding the 5 guys with the least amount of weakest links. Because if you have 1 weak link, they can attack that Super Bowl. We saw that. But they can put a tight end and running back to help. But you go to 2 weak links, you're kind of screwed. Like if you're I'll go back to Niners. Niners have an all-pro Hall of Fame left tackle. What the rest of the line, right? Would you rather have 5 guys that can get most of their blocks but aren't Trent Williams, or 1 Trent Williams and 4 guys that can't? Rather have the 5 that can. So with that mindset, and again, not knowing what free agency will bring Kansas City, we saw Wanya Morris play right tackle last season, Houston game, and then the Denver. In the Denver game, week 18, you got to take a little bit of a grain of salt. Final game of the season, Denver didn't have much to play for it. Actually, they did, right? The Bengals had lost, whatever. Denver blew the Chiefs out. I forget how it actually went down. But last game of the year with Carson Wentz, but Morris played well at right tackle. He played well at right tackle when he filled in for Jawan Taylor against Houston. That was his position in college. If that's Morris's best position, and you use a 3rd-round pick on him, put him at right tackle, and say, Jawan Taylor, can you play left tackle? Now, if Jawan Taylor says, I can't do it, not a chance, then yes, you have to find a left tackle solution. But if Taylor opens offseason program with the idea of, let's put him at left tackle, Morris at right tackle, Kingsley or one of the guys they drafted last year, right guard, Tooney and Creed, those guys you have on your roster. Again, I want to reiterate, would it be great if someone went to Kansas City? Yes. Let's say Cam Robinson, right? People have used him as an example. But other teams are going to want Cam Robinson too. And what are the Chiefs going to offer him? A 1-year deal? That's not, Cam wants to win a championship. Maybe that's what he does. But like, they're not going to offer him a long-term contract. You got to find an answer at some point with the guys you drafted. There has to be a long-term solution. Kingsley and Wanya, one of them has to pop. One has to be an answer for you on the offensive line for the future of this group. The other idea that I've seen around is just draft another offensive lineman at 31. Whew, buddy, you have other holes on the roster, right? I talked about, I'll mention them again, right? So the pass rush was horrendous against the Eagles. Now, their offensive line is really good. We get that. They stopped the run really well, but you need someone to rush the passer. This is a great defensive tackle class. So follow that away for a second. Your middle linebacker most likely going to walk. I don't think the Chiefs are going to play Bolton. I'm not sure they're going to pay Reed, but you have Hicks and you have Cook. Like, maybe that's a solution right there. You probably want one more veteran wideout, especially with Rice being suspended at some point next season. But Rice and Worthy look like a good combination. You need more though, right? Running back, it's a good draft for a back. I think they're going to draft a back, but you need explosive back, maybe another tight end. Like, there's other holes. You need kind of roster guys for your offensive line. There's other holes that they have to fill besides left tackle. And it's not a tackle class that's great. And so you're just drafting a project in Kingsley who hasn't even played yet. And now you want to draft another project at 31 but you haven't even tried the other guy yet. Like, unless the Chiefs decide Kingsley is the worst offensive lineman they've ever drafted and he is not going to play. Eric Fisher, guys, was not good as a rookie. Not good in his second year, maybe by his third year. Like, they eventually got him good. Like, you need reps, but the reps last year, again, were limited because the Chiefs' goal was trying to win a championship. So I don't buy the draft is the way to go here again. You drafted that guy last year. He's got to play. And again, to me, the pass rush. You need pass rush, great defensive tackle class. Chris Jones is getting older. Get yourself a pass rusher at 31. And maybe you want to tackle it at 62, whatever, 61, whatever it's going to be, 63. I can't do math. But that's when you get the running back, by the way, who they desperately need, in my opinion, to add to that offense, need a running back. So, again, hopefully my comments are cleared up now about what I think it should be. And again, you can't just assume that the Chiefs are going to get a left tackle in free agency. The line is not as bad as it seems. Try to find your 5 best. And the draft, in my opinion, at 31 is not a place to get an offensive lineman for the Chiefs. Plenty of other options. All right, guys. So, gotta let the young guys play. It's the NFL. Gotta let those guys play. It's the way the league works. At some point, gotta trust your draft picks. Gotta develop them. Gotta make them better. It's National Football League. That's what happens. You can also never go wrong drafting defensive linemen, offensive linemen in the first round. That's why defensive tackle to me is a huge priority for them this season. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys. Take care. Hope that explained my thought process. Leave comments, leave reviews, whatever you want to do. I'll answer them. I'll be able to talk them through. So take care, everyone. Have a great day.